When I was younger, I thought life was very easy. My parents gave me everything I wanted. I didn't have to study hard, and I didn't have to work. If I saw something I liked, I just asked for it, and I got it. My friends told me to think about the future, but I didn't worry. I thought my life would always be comfortable. Every day was the same. I woke up late, had breakfast in my room, and watched TV. Sometimes I went out with my friends. We ate at fancy restaurants, wore expensive clothes, and drove nice cars. Life was fun and easy. I never thought about money or work. If I wanted to travel, I traveled. If I wanted new shoes, I bought them. If I wanted a new phone, I got the newest one. My parents paid for everything. I didn't think about how hard they worked. I didn't ask about their jobs. I only enjoyed my life. I only thought about today, never about tomorrow. One day, my mother called me. She looked serious. She told me to sit down. I smiled and said, "Yes, Mom?" But her face didn't change. She wasn't happy. She wasn't joking. I felt a little worried, but I didn't know why. My mother was always kind. She never said no to me. But that day, something was different. She took a deep breath and looked at me. "You are not a child anymore," she said. "You must think about your future." I laughed and said, "Mom, I have everything I need." She shook her head. "No, my dear. You have everything because your father and I work hard. But life is not always easy. One day, things may change." I didn't understand. I thought she was worrying for no reason. I smiled and said, "Don't worry, Mom. Nothing will change." She didn't smile back. She looked at me for a long time. Then she said, "We will see." I didn't know what she meant. I thought she was just in a bad mood. I stood up and left the room. I didn't think about her words. I went out with my friends. I laughed. I spent money. I didn't know that my life was about to change. The next morning, I woke up late, as usual. I stretched and looked at my phone. There were many messages from my friends. They wanted to go out. I smiled and got ready. I put on my best clothes, used my expensive perfume, and went downstairs. But my mother was there, waiting for me. Her face was serious. "Sit down," she said. I sighed and sat down. "Mom, I have plans," I said. She didn't care. She looked straight at me. "You are not a boy anymore," she said. "You must learn about life." I rolled my eyes. "Mom, I know about life," I said. She shook her head. "No, you don't," she said. Then she said something surprising. "Come with me." I followed her outside. She walked to her car. I didn't know where we were going. She didn't say a word. I sat next to her, confused. She started driving. The city looked different that morning. I saw people walking quickly. I saw workers cleaning the streets. I saw people selling food on the side of the road. I had never noticed these things before. After some time, my mother stopped the car. We were in a part of the city I had never visited. The buildings were old. The streets were not clean. The people looked tired. My mother pointed at a man selling fruit. "Look at him," she said. "He wakes up very early. He works all day. He doesn't rest. He doesn't complain. He works to feed his family." I didn't say anything. Then my mother showed me a small shop. An old woman was making clothes. "She has been working for many years," she said. "She doesn't have much money, but she works hard every day." I looked at the woman. She was tired, but she didn't stop. She kept working. I had never seen people like this before. I had never thought about them. My mother turned to me. You see now? She asked. Life is not easy for everyone. Some people work hard every day. But you, my dear, have never worked a single day. I felt strange. I wanted to say something, but I didn't know what. I looked away. For the first time in my life, I felt small. I felt different. Something inside me had changed. We got back into the car. My mother didn't speak. She just drove. I sat quietly, thinking. The images of the man selling fruit and the woman making clothes stayed in my mind. I had never thought about people like them. I had never thought about work. My life was easy, but now I felt different. I didn't know why. After some time, my mother stopped the car again. This time, we were in front of a large building. It was her office. I had been there before, but I never stayed long. I only visited when I needed money. My mother got out. Come, she said. I followed her inside. The office was busy. People were walking quickly. Phones were ringing. Papers were everywhere. My mother took me to her office. She sat down and looked at me. Do you know what I do every day? She asked. I shrugged. You work, I said. She nodded. Yes, but do you know how hard I work? I stayed quiet. She continued. I wake up early. I make important decisions. I solve problems. I take care of this company. And I do all of this for you. I looked around the office. I saw busy workers. Some were writing reports. Some were making calls. Some looked stressed. I had never thought about these things before. I only saw the things my mother bought for me. I never saw how she earned the money. I felt something strange inside me. It was guilt. Then, my mother gave me a small notebook. From tomorrow, you will work here, she said. I laughed. Me? Work? I asked. She didn't laugh. Yes, she said. You will start at the beginning. You will learn. I was shocked. But I don't need to work, I said. My mother shook her head. Yes, you do, she said, because one day I will not be here. And then, what will you do? I didn't know what to say. I had never thought about life without my parents. I had never thought about the future. I had never thought about anything except my own comfort. But now, I had no choice. My mother had decided. Tomorrow, my life would change. Tomorrow, I would start working for the first time in my life. The next morning, I woke up early. It felt strange. I was used to sleeping late, but now I had to work. I got dressed and went downstairs. My mother was waiting for me. She gave me a bag. Your lunch, she said. I looked at her in surprise. Lunch? Can I eat at a restaurant? I asked. She shook her head. Workers bring their own lunch, she said, and today you are a worker. We left the house and drove to her office. When we arrived, she didn't take me to her big office. Instead, she took me to a small room. There were many desks. People were working on computers. A man came to us. He was wearing glasses and looked serious. This is Mr. Williams, my mother said. You will work with him. Then she left. Mr. Williams looked at me. Come with me, he said. He walked quickly. I followed him. He gave me a chair and a small desk. "You will check these papers," he said. He put a big stack of papers in front of me. "Look at the numbers. Find mistakes. Mark them." I stared at the papers. There were so many. "All of them?" I asked. Mr. Williams nodded. "Yes, and work quickly." I sat down and started. At first, it seemed easy, but after an hour, my head hurt. The numbers looked the same. My eyes felt tired. I wanted to stop, but I couldn't. Everyone around me was working. Nobody was resting. Nobody was talking. It was not like my old life. This was different. This was work.
By lunchtime, I was exhausted. I opened my lunch bag. It was simple food. No fancy dishes. No expensive drinks. I ate quietly. I watched the other workers. They ate quickly, then went back to work. No long breaks. No fun conversations. Just work. I missed my old life. I missed my freedom. But I also felt something new. I felt respect. These people worked hard every day, and now I was one of them. The afternoon was even harder. My back hurt from sitting. My hands were tired from writing. I wanted to stop. I wanted to go home. But I couldn't. Mr. Williams came to my desk. He checked my work. He found mistakes. "Do it again," he said. I sighed. I wanted to complain, but I didn't. I just nodded and started again. When the day finally ended, I felt different. I was tired, but something inside me had changed. For the first time, I understood how hard people worked. For the first time, I understood that money didn't come easily. As I walked out of the office, I saw my mother waiting for me. She didn't ask me how my day was. She only smiled. And for the first time in my life, I smiled back. Not because life was easy, but because I had earned that smile. The next day, I woke up early again. My body was sore. My hands were stiff. I had never felt this way before. I wanted to stay in bed, but I couldn't. I had work to do. I got dressed and went downstairs. My mother was already at the table. She looked at me and nodded. "Good," she said. That was all, but it felt different. It felt like she was proud. When I arrived at the office, Mr. Williams was waiting. He didn't smile. "You were slow yesterday," he said. "Today, work faster." I wanted to say something, but I didn't. I just sat down and started. The papers were in front of me again. The numbers were waiting. My head still hurt. My back still ached. But I worked. I didn't stop. By noon, I had finished my task. Mr. Williams checked my work. He found fewer mistakes. "Better," he said. Just one word, but it felt good. It felt better than buying something expensive. It felt better than wasting time with friends. It felt like I had done something real. I had never felt this before. I had never cared about work before. But now I did. During lunch, I sat with the other workers. They talked about their families. They talked about their problems. They laughed. They ate quickly and went back to work. I listened to them. I had never thought about people like them before. I had never thought about what they went through. But now, I was sitting with them. I was one of them. The afternoon was hard. Mr. Williams gave me more work. "Let's see if you can handle this," he said. I wanted to complain, but I didn't. I just nodded. I focused. I worked. The hours passed. My back hurt. My hands ached, but I kept going. I wanted to prove that I could do this. I wanted to prove it to myself. At the end of the day, Mr. Williams looked at me. He didn't smile, but he said, "Not bad." Just 2 words, but they meant a lot. I nodded and left the office. My mother was waiting outside. She looked at me, tired. "Tired?" she asked. I nodded. She smiled. Good, she said. I understood now. I understood why she made me do this. And for the first time, I didn't want to run away from work. I wanted to learn more. Days passed, then weeks, then months. I worked every day. At first it was hard. My body hurt. My mind felt tired. But slowly, I got better. I made fewer mistakes. I worked faster. Mr. Williams still didn't smile much, but he stopped complaining. Sometimes he even said, "Good job." Those words felt better than any gift I had ever received.
I started to understand money. Before, I only spent it. Now, I saw how hard it was to earn. I watched my mother work. I saw her make important decisions. I saw her solve problems. I saw her take care of the company. I had never truly respected her work before, but now I did. She was not just someone who had money. She was someone who had built something with her own hands. One evening, my mother called me to her office. She looked at me for a long time. Then she said, "You have changed." I didn't know what to say. She continued, "At first, you were lazy. You didn't care about work. But now, you understand." I nodded. She was right. I was not the same person anymore. I felt different. I felt stronger. Then, my mother surprised me. She took out a key and gave it to me. "This is your office," she said. I was shocked. "My office?" I asked. She nodded. "You are ready for more responsibility. You have worked hard. Now, it is time to take the next step." I held the key in my hand. It was small, but it felt heavy. It was not just a key. It was trust. The next day, I moved to my new office. It was small, but it was mine. I had my own desk, my own chair, my own work. I was no longer just a worker. I was learning how to lead. It was not easy. I made mistakes. I had bad days, but I didn't give up. I kept working. I kept learning. I wanted to be like my mother. I wanted to build something of my own. Looking back, I laugh at my old self. I thought life was easy. I thought money was simple. But I was wrong. Life is work. Life is effort. Life is building something with your own hands. My mother taught me that. And now I am ready for the future. Not because I have money, but because I have learned how to earn it.